Hey everyone, my name is Bence Hamos, the social media manager at Crytek, and today I'm here with Rick Taylor, senior community manager. Hey Rick, how are you doing today?
Hey Bence, I'm doing great. Thank you very much. It's good to be here. Thanks.
I'm really glad to hear that. And today we are here with a developer update video as well as a blog for you guys that we have been promising for a while, but it took us a long time to finish. So hope you guys don't mind the delay for that. In the future, we are preparing more videos and blogs such as this one, so please keep an eye out for that. But in this one, we will be talking about the near future of Hunt. But before that, let's start with a smaller community-related update regarding our ongoing communications in the future and also about our coming updates.
It's been an incredible 4 years, so we decided to kick off our anniversary celebrations this year with the Twitch Drop campaign. You know, the last 4 years, they haven't always been easy, but we are really proud of how far Hunt has come in this time. We want to thank you very much because your feedback has helped shape the development of Hunt over the last 4 years, and we couldn't have done it without you. We have a lot more planned for Hunt, not just this year, but for many years to come. But before we go down that much longer route, let's take a little bit of time to focus on the not too distant future.
As we already mentioned a few times this year, we really want to focus on transparency. So in order to do that, we want to prepare a lot more videos as well as blogs for you. This is our very first try at that. But other than these, we will also create insight videos where we will talk about new features, new additions to the game, and hot topics in the community. A few examples to that were our matchmaking video and our hit registration video, and anything else, you name it, we'll try to make a video on it. To be up to date on all of this all the time, make sure to follow us on all our social media channels and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well.
So for the first half of 2022, we're going to be doing a bit of a focus on the service aspects of Hunt. This is going to involve working on performance from both a client and server perspective, new live events, UI changes, new in-game systems, as well as some new in-game features, which is something that we'll go into in later videos. The first of these service updates is going to be update 1.8, which will have a bit of a focus on the server and client performance aspects. All of these additions will be aimed at ensuring the longevity of Hunt because we have a lot of plans. But first, we need to lay the groundwork for what is to come.
So let's talk about update 1.8. Usually 1.x updates are larger content-driven updates, but that will not be the case with 1.8. As Rick mentioned earlier, it will include a lot of server-side improvements, so server performance and client performance changes will come with this update. We are also adding other changes such as the missing tier 2 hunter lobby and weapon animations, the cane changes that you have all been waiting for a while, as well as fixes to the first-person view with 13 legendary hunters, so now you will be able to see their hands and arms properly in first-person view as well. This update will also include a bulk of the upcoming light event, but more info on that very soon.
In terms of the server and client performance improvements, there's a couple of points we wanted to touch on to let you know what we've done to try and help the current situation. We know that a number of you have been experiencing issues since update 1.7, so we've really been trying our best to resolve these for as many of you as possible. First off, on the server side, we've made improvements to how the server processes physicalized entities in the world. This means that we reduce the processing costs tied to the AI, doors, chains, and any other interactable objects within the world. On top of that, we've removed a component that is no longer used, which was impacting our server performance. We also noticed some spikes in performance when it came to idle AI. These AI were using far more resources than needed, so we've made some improvements to ensure that their cost is severely reduced. From the client performance side of things, we've made some changes into how the game interacts with the Steam API. During a game session, we were making some calls to a number of features on the Steam API every frame, and this was costly, which resulted in a decrease in performance for some of you. With these improvements, we're hoping that this will be a step in the right direction to help some of the issues you've been experiencing. But we know this will not resolve it for everybody. So because of this, we are introducing some new tools that are going to help us further our investigations as we progress through the next couple of months. One of the tools we'll be using is called a lightweight profiler to feed a beta code that we'll be giving players access to that will allow us to gather more data about the issues that they are encountering. Make sure to check up on our blog or the most recent patch notes for update 1.8 for more details on how you can help us with our investigations.
Other than all these awesome service side improvements, we also have a live event coming up called the TRAITO'S Moon, arriving to the Bayou on March 24th. Live events have become a concrete part of Hunt Showdown over the past few years, and we've been able to create a lot of enthralling stories for you. And this year will be no different. This time we'll be diving deeper into the story and taking a closer look at Mr. Cherry and what brings him to the American Hunters Association. So be sure to keep a close eye on what's coming up, you won't want to miss this. We'll have much more details coming up with a developer livestream and on our social media, so please make sure to keep an eye out for the TRAITOR'S Moon event. We can't wait to see your feedback regarding our event and find out how the story unfolds in the future. Talking about the future, let's talk about what is coming to Hunt in early Q2.
So in the early part of Q2, we're looking at introducing a new system that's going to replace the daily and weekly challenges. And we're calling this a quest system. This will be the first step towards adding a more engaging element of progression to Hunt and your play sessions. We have a lot to talk about with this, so we're not going to get into it right now, but we're definitely going to have a lot more details to share with you as we get closer to the update. Along with the daily quests, we're also going to be introducing 2 new variations to the Grunt AI cast in Hunt. This will be the first step in introducing a bit more variety to the AI in the game over the coming year, but we'll go into more detail about this in the upcoming developer livestream.
Before the new year, it was brought to our attention that there were some misalignments with the animations for certain weapons in the third-person view. Since then, we have been working on fixing these issues, and all the animations now will be aligned across the entire arsenal in Hunt. We want to thank the whole community for bringing this to our attention, and we aim to bring this fixed with update 1.8.1. After taking a closer look at early Q2, let's dive into later, mid Q2 and early Q3 as well. So we'll have a quick overview for you with some of the highlights we are currently working on. Please be aware that this will not be a full list of changes coming up, but rather a selection of our highlights. As we are getting closer to mid, late Q2 and early Q3, we will create more blogs, more videos, as well as more live streams to give you a more detailed view of all the additions coming to Hunt later this year.
We're also planning to introduce a new gameplay feature. This is something that's going to come around update 1.9. This feature will bring new elements of team play to the Bayou, as well as doubling up as an anti-camping mechanic. We don't want to go too much into it right now, as this feature is still in the works, but we'll definitely have a lot more details for you leading up to its release. One thing we received a lot of feedback over the last few months is the UI. So in late Q2, early Q3, we're going to be making some changes to several sections that have been among the most discussed within the community. We're currently planning to bring improvements to the death screen and the team details screen. We know that many of you have been asking us to share more information on these pages, so that is going to be one of our goals with these changes. As well as that, we're also planning a bit of a rework for the equipment screen in the hopes to improve the overall usability when in these menus. We've been keeping a close eye on your feedback, so we're hoping that these changes will be welcome additions for you all.
We know that the topic of region locks have been a big topic within our community for quite some time now. So we are planning to introduce some changes and limitations when it comes to playing outside of someone's region. We are currently working on the best approach to take with introducing these changes, so the information we can share right now is quite limited. One of our main goals with this upcoming system will be to ensure fairness in the matchups, while still allowing players to at least have one region available for them to play in. We have a lot of players around the world, and some live in regions where we currently do not have servers in. So we want to make sure that everyone can still play Hunt, but make it much fairer for everyone involved. As I mentioned earlier, this is still a work in progress, so we cannot share a lot at this moment, but we wanted to make you all aware that this is something we are investigating and working on. Obviously, in the future, we will have more updates regarding this topic as well.
Lastly, we'll also be working towards some changes to the progression in Hunt. We mentioned the quest system earlier, but we'll also be looking at making improvements to all aspects of progression, including the prestige system. We'll have a lot more details to share with you in the future about this, so make sure you keep an eye on our upcoming blogs, developer live streams, and videos for more information. This is not a full list of what's to come for later in Q2 and Q3, but we wanted to just give you a brief selection of highlights of what is going to come throughout this year. As we get close to each of these periods, we'll have further blogs and videos detailing more of what is to come.
As always, to keep updated, make sure to check our social media channels and subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we will have a lot more video content in the future. With that, we came to the end of our developer update video. We hope you enjoyed it, but please leave your feedback in the comments below. Thank you, Rick, for being here with me.
No worries. Thanks for having me. It's been awesome.
And see you all in the bayou, and have some great hunts. Bye-bye.
Bye.